this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I am delighted to welcome Gavin and Nick of Survivalist. How the hell are you, lads?
Oh, good, bro. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you again. Evan, as always, my co-host. Great seeing these lads again, Ev.
Absolutely. Lovely boys now.
Lovely lads.
Thank you very much. And thanks very much for having us as well again.
Yeah, and isn't it nice to say as well, Ev, we've seen him play live. Isn't that a nice fucking thing, man? After all
Sound
this
Well, I
time.
didn't think we were going to say that 2 years ago.
Yeah, sound lads and big sound lads.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Same goes to Warren as well. Like, obviously, we played with you guys a few months back, and it was awesome. Like,
awesome.
I did not expect that kind of performance from a local band. Like, you guys smashed it out of the park. Like,
Appreciate that, lads.
I was like, here, anytime you want us down, anytime.
We'll definitely sort that out. Yeah, I have a few things in the work. I think 95% of bands are onto me at some stage. It's like trying to fit everyone in as well as being in another band. Like, Jesus, I will get around to things. I have a few things in the pipeline, but
Evan's getting 2 phones at this point.
and I don't even fucking look at the one that I have.
He hasn't the clue how to fucking operate any of them. How about that?
No, haven't a clue.
Yeah, lads. Like Gav, we've been on to each other, man, for the last 2 years. I suppose at this stage.
Yeah, pretty much since this started. I would say you and I we've been talking back and forth quite a lot, and you've been really, really helpful for the band. You've promoted. You guys have done so much for us. We've had so much support in general. You have
actually, yeah. But there's a reason why, man. There's a reason why. It's just that you have a fantastic sound. You're professional. The videos, everything. It's just it's been really great following you on this ride. I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's been insane. Like, we talk about this all the time. We're a local band that have only played 3 shows, and we have this kind of like following and support already. This is only the beginning for us completely. We have so much more planned. There's so much more to come, and we want to bring everybody who supported us the whole way through it with us as well. Like,
myself included, I started off as a follower of the band.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I suppose we'll briefly give a synopsis there, because Nick, you played bass, played fucking really well, actually. It was great seeing you fucking hammer that out live.
Yeah, that was that show back in November. That was my first show ever.
Yeah. I remember you saying that in the check, and I was like,
everyone there was like, no fucking way. And I was like, that's, I don't know. Like bedroom guitars for years, you know what I mean? Just one of them things, you just follow everyone. Same thing, Thomas and Stuart, the guitarists in our band. I've followed them in previous bands for 10 years now, I've known all the guys. And it just came to a point, they were like, Nick, we'd love to have you on board. And I was like, I'm ready. I'm sitting here 10 plus years ready to do something like this. And as you see, like, fits well, I think. So far, so good.
The proper Cinderella story, like.
Yeah. And Nick, were you guitarist or on bass anyway? Which way?
I would be a guitarist originally.
Okay.
And they were like, here, if you play bass, you can be in a band as well. And I was like, I'll fucking play bass. But you know what? I have the chance to do backup vocals as well. And I really enjoy it, actually, believe it or not, I'm just kind of surprised myself how much I do enjoy it. And with the type of metalcore where it's still technical enough where I can show off a bit of guitar, but still like beyond the bass, obviously, But no, it's going really well, I think. I'm really enjoying it,
How did that decision come about, Gav, from your point of view?
So obviously we had Taylor. Taylor was just, he's done so much for the band.
Shout out to Taylor, yeah,
absolutely,
100%.
Is still one of my best friends. Nick and I were actually out having a couple of beers with him on Saturday night, and he's so happy for the band. Like, he's still supporting us. Like, when you look at that earache post, Taylor and his partner were 2 of the first people to comment on it, congratulating us. Like, he did so much for us. He laid the way. He wrote the original bass parts for the songs and everything, and couldn't have been happier having Taylor in the band. It was sad that when he left, obviously for me, Taylor and I have been friends for a very long time, so it was sad. And then we were kind of sitting in the band, everything was a bit like, you could tell we're all a bit bit sad for Taylor leaving and stuff. So we're kind of sitting thinking like, who are we going to get to replace? Because the trade has to go on. There's no way this is the end. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, it really. To us, we were like, if somebody leaves, then we'll keep going.
Yeah,
and that's what we did. I couldn't think about anybody initially, so I sat and I thought, hold on a minute. I remember going through, I think it was your Instagram story, and I see him playing guitar. Mm-hmm. So I turned around to Thomas and was like, here, your friend Nick. Tom and Nick have known each other for a long time. Yeah. Nick was a big fan of Tom's old band, Donham Day. And
you were in Donham Day, were you?
Tom and Stu, so the two guitarists.
Yeah. I think
Day.
We were supposed to play a gig with them in Galway fucking years ago. Would have been our like kind of first run of gigs. It came up on my memories thing. I think we had to cancel. I think Isaac was sick or something. But yeah, I didn't know that they were the boys.
They were the boys. Yeah. They were Thomas and Stu were the two guitarists from Donham Day. Thomas was also the singer as well. So we reached out to Nick. Nick came to one practice. He went and bought a bass just to come to the practice. And it's kind of a really cool story and a really cool way of the torch being handed down, because when we asked Taylor to join the band, Taylor was a guitarist, had never played bass before.
I remember that.
He bought a bass guitar for the first practice, and Nick did exactly the same thing. So he's not only like musically succeeded him, but he's also like spiritually his successor in the band. Like, so it's pretty cool. Like,
he lives through him.
He lives. So yeah, Taylor's living vicariously for Nick now.
I'll take it.
So the other issue then, when I was last talking to Dan Gav, was you were short a drummer.
We were short a drummer. So Darryl left at the time. He didn't have the time to continue with the band. And he's moved on. He's created Archives. Archives are seemingly doing really, really well for themselves, which is awesome to see.
Awesome, yes.
Great.
More metalcore bands from the country doing well for themselves is awesome, because it means that those people who always said, well, look, we're not going to go to Northern Ireland for metalcore, are going to come here looking for the bands now. So the more talent that comes out of Northern Ireland, the more talent that comes out of Ireland as a whole, is literally better for every single one of us. And working together is something that we should all be doing as well.
Couldn't agree more, man. Yeah,
it's great to see Archives succeeding and Darryl doing really well. So we're really happy about that. Josh then came on board as a sort of stand-in.
Yeah, that's when I was last talking to you. You were saying that Josh was going to come in. Yeah.
So Josh came in as a stand-in. And then Josh, as you all know, is a very busy boy. And rightly so. The guy does his job very, very well. He is rightly so that he's busy. So he didn't have the time, and that we were all cool with that. We still finished the album and everything with Josh, which was great. And so Ben and I were actually in a band when we were kids. I'm talking like 12, 13 years ago, called The Ghosts of Plainfield, just to be edgy, you know.
You always just said ghosts.
That's a shit name. That's a shit name.
The Ghosts of Plainfield. So that was like a bedroom band. But the one thing that I always seen in that band, even over myself, like the talent was always in Ben. Like Ben carried that band. Like the fact that we got up on stage as a 3-piece band. You know, that I was a guitarist. I'm a mediocre guitarist at best, and Ben's just a phenomenal drummer, and he carried all the performances. I don't know how we had fans, to be honest. So so pretty much after Josh left, I did the only thing that I knew how to do, and was contact one of the very few musicians that I was still would have still talked to. And I reached out to Ben. Ben came along, and it's been perfect ever since. The man brought so much energy. He brought a new, diverse sound, whilst obviously honouring the old style. He hasn't diverted too much, but he has also added a lot more thunder, so to speak. A lot more. He hammered the way Ben hits the drums. He just hits them so hard. But like, you would look at him, and it's like a calm ocean.
Yes.
but he is so aggressive.
Yeah.
He just brings a different sound now. And on the lineup, it's the lineup that's here now is the lineup that's here to stay.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is here for the long run now.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, settled lineup. That's very important moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And which is why we came to the decision that we were going to re-record the original drums and bass.
Yeah.
So everything that you guys hear now on the final mastered version of VII is Ben and Nick.
Yeah.
It is the original Survivalist, which is why I couldn't be more thankful to Taylor and Darryl for all the work that those guys put in,
100%.
for laying the groundwork and the foundations for Nick and Ben to come in.
Mm-hmm.
It was just awesome, the work that these two guys did with what they had.
Yeah.
That's what I love the most. There's no bad blood at all. You know,
absolutely.
As you said, I was with Taylor. I was talking to Taylor today.
Taylor was around here literally about an hour ago, dropping out his speaker.
But like, you know, when I went to re-record it, I sort of keep it as it was, you know, pay that kind of credit to him, but also kind of have my own style on it, my own tone, my own, you know, just a few notes, a few things, changes here and there. And you'll see, obviously, in the future, much more of what I can do, kind of thing. The same thing with the drums, you know, you'll hear them. They're so tight on the recordings now. But again, it's just keeping the credit to what was there and then looking forward to the future now, kind of thing.
Yeah,
go on, Gav. Yeah, sorry.
If I was going to say, if you really want to see, like, hear a difference in the original bass stuff and mix, listen to Sloth. Yeah, so of Mindfulness and Sloth, and that last clean section. If you listen to the bass in there, they're very different styles, but still they both fit the music perfect. And it was awesome just to see that fluidness.
I can't help but think as well, Gav, I'll say this to you, that you've actually made the most of your surroundings in relation to where you're living, insofar as getting Josh in to do a fucking amazing job on the album. And also, and we love him here on the show, a big shout out to Wayne Donaldson as well for doing a lot of your, I suppose, videos, photo shoots as well. It's great to see that you're using the best people that you have up there for Survivalist, you know? Yeah,
well, that's the whole point, isn't it? Like, I mean, there's been bands that have came from this country, right? And they've came and they have spent thousands and thousands recording across the water, getting these videographers that have worked on X, Y, Z in, and then 2 years later, these bands stood up and they didn't use the talent that was already here, and they didn't pay credit to the talent that was here, because people like Wayne is phenomenally underrated at everything he does.
Yeah, very true.
Is an absolute legend of a man. Really, really nice, cool to hang out with. Him and I became very close. And not only that, but he will do everything he can for local music, much like yourselves.
He even let us stay in his house. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's the kind of support like that we don't ever want to say, like, you know, turn your back on or anything like that. And Wayne has just done amazing work. The video, what we've seen so far, looks insane. Like, it looks so good. The screenshots and stuff that we've seen, the photos that you guys have seen that we put up on social media, the location that we were at, everything was phenomenal. And we're going to be bringing Wayne on a few more adventures with us as well.
It's great to see.
To hear, yeah,
absolutely. Like, do you understand what I'm saying, Evan, there in relation to making the most out of your surroundings? And you know, the people that are in the pool that can elevate a band.
Utilizing your scene, do you know what I mean? Like, everyone, like, as you were saying earlier, with Archives, you know, like, having two metalcore bands that are from the same area is only going to show people that, you know, there's a fucking good scene here, and if there is bands looking to come over, they're going to find two bands straight away that are of a high caliber.
Exactly.
I think Ireland in general is definitely a place that if one band starts doing really well, that's a good thing for everyone, because you'll get, like, the amount of times that you'll see, like, Metal Sucks or like Metal Injection or Heavy Blog is Heavy, just all of a sudden doing, top 10 Irish bands and stuff. And, you know, you can even see when the guys are writing in them, they always say, I found this band via this band. Do you know, like it's the more connected bands are and helping each other out and, you know, sharing contacts, and it just adds to a better scene.
You need a good promoter as well, and a big shout out to James Loveday as well, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
for sure. James, an absolute legend.
James has helped us from the very beginning as well. Like, James put on our first ever show, James put on our second ever show, and James put on our third ever show. So every show that we have done so far has been with James, and there's good reason for that, is because he's
such a big cutie. That's why.
he's a big sweetheart.
Oh, he's a big sweetheart.
He's just a big sweetheart. The guy he's just. There's no other word to say for James than lovely. Like, he's just a lovely bloke.
It's in the name,
I've got
wait a minute.
He's just great. Like, he is a promoter that gives back to the bands, makes sure the bands are looked after. He doesn't take advantage of his bands. He doesn't try to cut corners with stuff.
And he's there. He's at the shows as well.
He's at the shows as well. So.
Me being new to the scene, it's everyone's new to me. I'm meeting everyone. I'm getting to know people, and I will say, of all the local shows I've been to over the years, it's kind of like you go to a show, you know, promoters know to be found sometimes, or where's the posts for it? Where's the photos for it? You look at James. James is always at the shows. He's posting constantly all day. Even the show we're having Friday, all week I've seen a post about it every day, and you know that's appreciated. You know.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
One of them things, as you said, like, the country's only so small. Everyone has to help each other out.
I'm just froze. The guys that are helping us, the guys that are backing us, the guys that are speaking to other people about us and getting us these gigs and everything, like that, we're going to keep giving those people because they're the reason why we are.
Yeah, I don't think there's not much point in getting jaded over stuff either. You know, like you can get a lot of times that, like, I mean, competition is great, you know, like healthy competition, don't get me wrong, but there definitely is that whole, like, people notice as well, if you're someone that's out there helping other bands and like being supportive, people will notice that, you know, and it does make a difference. It's not, one thing I fucking hate is, you know, entitlement, being like, oh, I've been at your gig, that means that you have to do it. It's not, you're not getting scene credits. It's like
not owing each other stuff.
You can tell when someone's really genuinely trying to support a band when just because they want to, you know, and not they're not looking for anything out of it. And I think that shines through, and I think you're definitely, and James is 100% one of those people. Like,
no, absolutely, and like we wouldn't. That's why the only 3 shows we've done so far have been with James. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to exclusively use one promoter. We will play every gig.
Yeah,
the guys,
you'd be shooting yourself in the foot with that, all right?
These guys everyone's just thirsty in the band. The guys just want to play constantly, but we want to play diverse gigs all over the place, opening acts, headlining acts. Like, as long as we get to play and we get to play to a good crowd, we don't care. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter who's opening, who's headlining. That's not what we're here for. We're here to help each other. And like if you guys were ever stuck for an opener or anything like that, and we didn't have anything on, like the other night we were having that chat. If that hadn't been for it being his birthday, would have all been done. 100%. Totally. Like, it's a gig at the end of the day.
Exactly. That's what we're
as long as you know. Even in saying that, like, make sure you're getting paid for shit. That's one of the biggest advice I can give to bands, is that it's one of those things that, like, regardless if you're playing for half an hour, you know, it's not feasible to be expecting a lot of money for a lot of gigs, but at the same time, promoters should be giving each person that's doing something for them some kind of money. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you know, no one's really, it's rare that you'll see people being able to do this as a full-time job, but at the same time, you know, show bands some form of,
another job in your separate spare time. This is like,
absolutely, you put in more hours than other stuff for it, like, you know. So I think,
what was your feelings, lads, leading into the Worn Out gig? Because like we were traveling up there, and like I was so excited, obviously, to see the album launch of Worn Out's Waste. But I mean, the fact that Foreign Wolf and Survivalist were playing for me was just like, wow, this is going to be really cool. And the venue, then the Speakeasy as well, was actually a nice size venue for that kind of music. I mean, I know you have a choice of Voodoo as well and the Limelight, but I mean, it was nice to see in Speakeasy, and of course you did your launch show there as well. So
well, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, fair enough. So
yeah, it's a lovely little venue, actually. Yeah,
really. I mean, a good sound to it as well.
So yeah, when we played with you guys, we went in. We didn't know what the venue was like. I
knew the stage was tiny. I knew it was gonna be tiny.
Yeah, it's a small stage. That's probably the only downside. If like that stage had like an extra, even like 2 feet on it, it would be like the perfect venue, because the sound's really, really good. The guys who work there are really good. The sound engineer, I've forgotten the guy's name, but he is an absolute really sterling guy.
Yeah, absolutely lovely dude. Yeah,
and he knew what he was doing as well. Like, I don't know how much time. Well, obviously, you guys, you had 2 people pretty much off the stage the most of the gig.
Yeah, the stage doesn't matter to us at all. We won't be on it for long anyway. Like
that, you'll see yourself when you're standing out there facing into the stage. I see it whenever I get off the stage, and you can hear it. You can hear the clarity, and it's like, this is so much better than so many venues. Like, the sound is unreal. You can even hear it in our the videos from the night. You can hear yourself. You can hear each guitar.
Yes.
You can hear the bass. You can hear drums from a live recording. You don't get very much of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what made you pick then Molar Bear and Neon Empire then for supports?
So Neon Empire would have been chosen because they are similar in our genre. Now, obviously, Neon Empire do a lot of the sort of dance and techno influence stuff in the electronic bits and pieces that are in their music. They have that, which differentiates them from us.
Yeah,
but they're still a metalcore band.
Oh yeah, they're good friends of the show.
Yeah, they're lovely people. They have a really professional attitude. Yeah. They put out really good content, photos, videos. Everything is awesome. Really, like I said, professional, and that was why we chose them. It was purely for the fact that we felt like they were on the same wavelength as us.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then Molar Bear, we played our very first ever show with Molar Bear. I have been fans of Molar Bear since before that. They're all really good dudes.
Great bunch of lads.
Yeah, Molar Bear are absolutely unreal.
Yeah,
you know what's funny? Actually, the guitarist of that band works in a music shop in Belfast.
Is it Andy?
Yeah, he works in Matchets, and I went up constantly asking bass stuff and like to get my bass set up and all that sort of stuff. And then I see him at the show, and I go, "Can I ask you a weird question? Do you work at Matchets?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "You know me, don't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know you." I was like, that's all time, you know.
Yeah. So with the first interaction I had with Molar Bear, Andy Morrison would came into the store that I used to work in. Mm-hmm. And I remember he came in one day, and I was like, he was wearing a Torch t-shirt, and I remember being like, "Oh yeah, Torch," and we sat and talked about Torch for a bit. And then I was like, "Do you play guitar or anything yourself?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm in a band called Molar Bear." And at this point, Survivalist was only a concept. I had thought about starting a band, but like we hadn't done anything about it or hadn't found any musicians or anything. And then I spoke to Andy, and then I was like, "Well, look, I'm trying to start a band at the moment." I was like, "If we ever do anything, I'll maybe hit you up for a gig," and like, you know, like a joke, like laughed it off. And then fast forward a good couple of years later, and the first gig we're ever playing is with Molar Bear. So it worked out.
Class.
They came right back around, like.
Yeah.
And of course, Evan, you have them coming down to Cork as well.
I do indeed. I think the first time I saw them was, I think, like I knew, because I knew Jackal Feud, but I didn't actually know they were the, like, some of the guys were in Jackal Feud, and I remember just going to a gig in Fred's. I knew there was a gig on, didn't know who was playing, and I remember just walking in, seeing 3 guitarists, and like being like, "All right, what's this going to be?" Absolute filthy riffs, and I was like, "Yeah, right. Whoever these guys are, I'm in." Yeah. You have me a big filthy riff.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Like, I listen to, obviously we're a metalcore band, but I listen to everything. Like, Tombs would be one of my favorite local bands. you guys, Worn Out,
Appreciate it.
Molar Bear, like that. Probably the three ones I can think of on the top of my head. Anyway, that I would be very, very fond of.
The first time I met Andy, would you believe, was he was playing guitars with Elder Drew down in Cork.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the guitarist with Elder Drew. One of the lads couldn't make it, so Andy jumped in and they played Monolith.
I
was wondering, right? Yeah. Fair
Mad. It was nice to see him in that capacity. Put it that way.
No, we've got a lot of friends. Obviously, I think it was actually the drummer from Foreign Wolf the other night shared a post, and it was like half the people I know are playing the Metal of the Masses.
Right, yeah.
It's so true. Like we all, like everybody has friends that are playing the Metal of the Masses. One band at the moment that are being missed, obviously, is Oracle. Oracle, like, are currently they're down on guitars. I'd be very close with their drummer, Reese, who's also the bassist from Lockhorns.
Cool, yeah.
They're really, really good guys, all phenomenal musicians and stuff. So really excited to see what music they come out with, especially having new talent in the band and stuff. It always diversifies your sound a bit. Like bringing Nick and Ben in has diversified ours. Now I know you can't really see a lot of it just yet, but we've a lot of stuff written anyway. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff written.
That's great, man.
10 years not been in it.
Yeah,
and
Nick has actually been writing guitar parts as well.
Yeah.
So he's been working with Stu and Tom, writing a lot of guitar parts and stuff like that. So we have a couple of new songs planned.
Similar, but a new sound,
Yeah, it's similar, but fresh. Yeah, it's very fresh as well.
Very
like heavier,
very fucking heavier.
Heavier, lower, everything that you like. Heavier, lower, dirtier, but also more epic and bigger choruses and stuff. So it's like the new music as well is going to be less restrictive to us when we write, because obviously VII is a concept album. It started from me thinking of laying in bed one night thinking about the 7 deadly sins and about how much I love the movie Seven, and then we kind of just went from there. So that concept album and trying to have all the sounds so similar really made it restrictive. Whereas we're going to kind of stick to some singles and bits and pieces after this for a good while before we enter the next album venture. So there's going to be a lot of singles, and then we're going to work on a second album.
Yeah, you strike me as a band anyway that, especially, I know it's your debut album anyway, you seem to relish releasing singles. And how did that come into, we'll say, Eric, getting the attention of Eric?
So I'll start off with the talking about the singles part first.
Yeah.
So we went for the singles approach because I think if you follow any of the big metalcore bands,
big major bands, that's the way to go.
Especially with metalcore. With metalcore bands, the way they promote themselves a lot is via singles, really high quality singles with high quality music videos. And there's so much of it out there now, and it's such a saturated market. You need to have individuality,
especially streaming. It's so easy to just say, "Here's an album," and it just gets released amongst the rest. Whereas you put a single out, that's one piece of quality work that you can listen to and be like, this is going to be on repeat. I can't wait to hear what's next.
Yeah, so that was a big reason why as well. So I feel like some bands write really long albums, 45, 50 long. People will hear the singles that get released of that, the music videos. And when that album comes out, not very many people now sit down and listen to an album from start to finish.
Yeah.
There's so many songs that get missed in artists, and I'm guilty of it myself.
Yeah, you put a playlist on, you hear one song, And
I'll, I a lot of the times as well with Spotify and stuff like that, I'd have already added the singles to my playlists. So I'm already very familiar with these bands and stuff. Then the album comes out and I miss it completely.
Yeah,
and that has happened a few times. It was something that I didn't want to happen with something that we were doing as a concept album that was going to be huge. We didn't want any of the music to be missed, and we didn't want any filler or anything like that. It had to be, well, for lack of a better term, all killer, no filler. Like that was, it had to just be hitting hard, and it had to be diverse. And we're very happy with how it turned out.
And the Eric,
so into the Eric story. So you all know yourselves. You're trying to promote your band. You're trying to get your name out there. Now, so I had sent over 48 hours, probably about 200 plus emails to people. Now, I had a list, 2 lists, shared with me by, well, some of the email addresses and stuff I got were actually from Kieran Scott of Ash and Crown.
Oh,
so
Kieran.
he's
nice
been, Kieran's been a very, very, very big supporter of us, but has done it in a very cool way.
Give you tools for you to do it yourself, kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. And he's been so good to us as well. You see, if I've reached out to him and asked him anything, he replies to me pretty much instantly. And he always, even if he doesn't have the answer, he will always try and help. And that's something we've got from everybody. Even the guys from Mola Bear. I've asked loads of people. I think I maybe asked you guys about merch printing.
Yeah, you did all right, yeah.
Yeah. So that was because we had a shortage, basically. I'm going off on a tangent. Don't worry about that. So we had 2 lists of emails, right? We had one list that was supposed to be BCCs, so blind carbon copies. These were supposed to go to absolutely everybody. Then we had another list of people where the emails had to be personalized. They had to be tailored to those people who they were, because it was people like Tim Bailey, who is head of Earache UK. It is people like, we have people who work for Metal Hammer. We have people direct emails for these people, not just their info at. We had direct emails. So I sent out the blind carbon copy emails and a load of other emails and all this. And then pretty much after that, the first tailored email that I did was to Tim Bailey. And whenever I was changing it, personalizing it, making sure that this was directly for his eyes, because I've been an Earache fan since I was a kid, as I'm sure everybody in here has. The bands, the people they've discovered, the music they've put out, the work they've done for the industry since they started, and Digby Pearson has been incredible. So we wanted to catch their attention. I had done all of the personalization. I had changed everything. I'd made it look professional and something that if you got this email from a band, you'd be like, this is great. This is great. This is exactly how I want stuff to be worded. But I didn't change his name. I said, hey guys.
It could be way worse.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, it could be.
So I said, long story short was, we got a reply back basically saying I don't like these generalized emails. You guys could have taken a bit of a better approach to this.
He didn't say that, did he?
Not in so many words, in a nice way. He was really nice about it. And he was like,
Gavin's messages going, I fucked it.
Yeah. So, he was really, really nice about it. He replied back saying, look, all the best for the future. Hope everything goes well for you guys. Thumbs up. I respond back with just a heartfelt email saying, look, explained what had happened. Sorry. Was completely honest. Didn't beat around the bush. Didn't bullshit the guy. I'd already ruined his day once, didn't want to do it twice. So I put all the information in and was like, look, I am so sorry. This was a human error down to my part. I've been sending emails for the last 2 days. Do not let the band suffer for this. It was my fault. And he didn't reply. And I was like, oh, jeez. So I've been, pretty much, I've been like, oh, fuck that. So 2-3 days, I think that was a Wednesday, and then after the weekend, it must have been a Monday or Tuesday or whatever. I can't, dates and days at the moment are just up the left, with everything going on. He gets back to us and he says, guys, I actually got to listen to the record. I thought it was really, really good.
After I got over it or something.
Yeah, he was like, after I got over myself. He was like, after I got over myself, I actually gave your record a listen. I thought it was really, really good. And he was just like, look, this is what I want to offer you. We have a digital distribution platform. It's soft launched currently with hand-selected individual invited artists only at the moment. Then they invited us, and they have been really, really good to us, really kind. They've helped us so much already. As you guys have probably seen, like Tim Bailey put us on to Richard Vale, who is head of their digital distribution at the moment. And he was just awesome, just a really good guy, and has done nothing but help us since. And Jenny, who is their head of marketing, I believe, she has been coordinating directly with the band on our social media posts, making sure that Earache are posting and distributing the social media content. And they have just been amazing. Couldn't ask for a nicer bunch of people to work with. And it's, like I was saying earlier, like, I followed Earache since I was a kid, since I was a young boy. And scrolling through my Facebook feed and seeing Earache posting pictures of us, of something, of something I was part of, something I helped create alongside Nick, Tom, Stu, Ben.
Surreal.
It was, it's surreal and overwhelming, and like, they have offered us so much more support, and there's so much more to come as well. So really, really, really awesome, and couldn't be more thankful to be part of the Earache family now and on their digital distribution.
I think that genuinely the best thing about that is how humanized the whole thing was. Like, you know, just, it's almost like the hey guys and that human error created that bit more of a connection, like it's something
like all these are decent guys, not just
this is it. Like by doing something robotic gave you an opportunity to show your complete human side.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, it was the complete fumble on my part, and like, you know yourself, Evan, you do a lot for Worn Out.
Oh man,
you know.
And the worst thing is like, there could be a time that like, you're like, fuck, this whatever hasn't got back to me, and I've gone and looked at the email, and I might like typing it, looking at it, everything is perfect, but then I open it a week later and I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. Shit.
But, an absolute childhood dream come true. Being part of the Earache family, being on the digital distribution team, awesome, unreal. And like, what we've spoke about and stuff already is that pretty much the rest of the future releases and stuff that we do for the foreseeable future will be through Earache's digital distribution. Yeah.
That's awesome. And what would you say, like, we'll say from when you announced it, was there anything like instantly that kind of jumped out for you that happened, whether it's, I don't know, like a jump in followers, or like being added to certain playlists, or like your Spotify plays going up? Or
so added the playlists and pretty much all of the above. Yeah. Like, we woke up the next morning, my phone had just been bombarded with stuff, like out of the playlists. You know, we're getting a lot more messages from people asking to promote our stuff. And you know yourself, Instagram is people being like, can you pay XYZ
DM for feature kind of shit.
It's not that. That's not what we're getting at. It's the first time it's been like that. It's people genuinely wanting to promote our music. It's genuine support. It's the fans have been loving the announcement and stuff. So we're happy to keep working alongside Earache for as long as they'll have us, pretty much. Really, really good guys. Couldn't recommend them enough to anybody, and I think it's worth for everybody shouting out to them. And I think, like you said earlier, now that there are eyes here, more sort of opportunity is going to open up for other bands.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of realise as well, lads, you've actually only played, what, was it 4 gigs?
3?
I was
3,
I was literally, I think I was on your YouTube page, when was it? Like yesterday or the day before, and I think there's one of the videos that's like debut live performance, and it's like from 2 years ago. And sure, fucking 2 years ago we started a pandemic. Do you know what I mean? So just get like, in straight away.
That debut gig was at the end of February, I believe. And then we went into lockdown in March.
I remember talking to you about it. I was just going, Jesus Christ, it's nuts.
And funny thing is, myself, I was there as a fan, seeing the band. Probably actually
you could probably point him out in the video on YouTube, Nick was there.
Seeing Survivalist going like, yes, my mates, he's fucking sick. Seeing Polar Bear after as well, all these great guys. Yeah. And then 2 years later, I'm in the band playing with Polar Bear.
It's crazy though. It does just go to show you that, like, don't get me fucking wrong now. I'm not like, oh, I fucking love social media. Like, no, it's not that at all. It's literally like all aspects of being in a band are important. And that comes down to the admin side. Like, I put the social media side of it in the same bracket as your emails, your booking, your tours, doing everything. Like, everything that you do, sitting on a computer, not getting paid and spending the hours. I put that all, because I'll do all of that in the same, I'll give myself time frames to do certain things, and I'll put all that admin stuff in, but it just shows how important it is. You obviously need, there's no point in, if your music is shit, don't bother even listening to any advice on your admin stuff, because you're just going to be showing more people how shit you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's different as well. There's a different game plan now for record labels, because in the old days they used to be able to send guys over, scouts, to see what kind of talent is over in Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, and nowadays they couldn't do that. So now they're just actually,
they want to see your numbers. They want to see how much people are actively listening and engaging
and the
with
quality of your material.
Of course, yeah.
I think that's the big one, isn't it?
That goes without saying, really. But it's kind of like, you do have to have all this stuff, because if you're thinking with a label, why would they be like, oh, sweet, these guys have 2 listeners, even if the music is incredible?
Yeah.
They still have to be, because music's not the same as it was years ago either. Do you know what I mean? There's less and less money to be made on it, and it's one of those things that they really have to be basically they need all the work that they would have put into a band already done. Yep. Do you know what I mean? That's basically it's easier for them to get a band that's the full package. And again, distribution, I feel, is probably more important than a lot of deals that you can get, because people can record now, and it is great to have a recording budget and stuff, but bands can do it, and they can get it to the quality, as you were saying, that you don't have to travel 1,000,000 miles to do this. There is places in Ireland, and then it's just having the distribution for people to be able to actually hear it. That's the most important thing, I think, anyway. Distribution
I agree.
It's like you get a lot of bands that go oh, this is the day of the release, and they're oh, all these plans up to it, and then it comes out and it's they've taken the foot off the brake, because that's the relief almost for them. That's just the start. The work up to it is just, that's you putting your socks on. You still need to put your shoes on and go for a run. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing now. It's been a tough couple months getting this finished and re-recording everything and all the work. But I keep saying to everyone, this is the start. We can't just relax now and say, "Adam's out."
Oh yeah.
It's no. This is where you actually put in the work. This is where we actually show up.
Yeah.
Do everything. And be a band.
Do you feel almost is there an extra pressure, whereas, with Eric getting involved now, do you kind of shit, we have to get something out sooner than before, or are you still kind of, it's coming out when it's coming out? Yeah. Good.
So, no, not at all. Not even remotely. They're not pressuring us for anything. They don't expect anything from us. All they want to do is support us, which is great. They're not pressuring us for anything like that. This isn't a record deal where they would be.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a digital distribution.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what we're doing with those guys. So it allows us to still have our freedom and our flexibility in our writing and our content creating. Now, be very clear about the reason why everything took so long to release is because we were in lockdown. we needed to. I was very, very against going into a studio and recording an entire album in one day, like a lot of bands do. You know, tracking tracking an entire album. A lot of local bands do it. There's a lot of local bands go in. They'll track an entire album in 2-3 days. Yeah. We wanted to spend nearly the time that some people spend on an album in this country per song. And that was, so we were spending a day, 2 days, sometimes in the studio, and then a lot more time on the editing and the master and the mixing. A lot of back and forth with Josh, a lot of all of us sort of compromising on the sound and making sure that everything was right and everybody got heard. We wanted to make sure it was quality. And then obviously with member changes, more lockdowns, stuff like that, it really slowed down the entire process. Now, we have so much of a back catalogue written. We've got demos recorded. From here on out, content is going to be coming a lot quicker. And when I say a lot quicker, you can expect a new song that's not off VII very soon after Siege. Summer. Very, not, but even before the summer. It's going to, we've said that we're going to, the song's essentially written. The next one we're recording is essentially finished. So we're pretty much going to bounce straight into the studio after Siege and then get to work on that have it out with a music video and stuff, hopefully very, very soon.
What was the feeling like to get that you had when you got the call up to appear on the Siege?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you were awesome.
Yeah, I was really, really excited because I've never been. Yeah. I've heard, I've so many friends over the years. Yeah. So many of my friends and everything have been about it, and everybody is like always floated around, but people always say the same thing. It's so difficult to get on. Yeah. Like you have to be like, it's hard to get onto it. Like, and you'll see the bands that are on it now. They're all big, it's all top quality stuff. It's not just local bands. I'll throw them on too. It's the bands that you want to go see. Yeah, it's big. It's big names up there and stuff, and it's good local acts. There's people missing from it that should 100% be on the. But that happens with so many. When you've got so many artists to pick from, that's going to happen. Not saying that we're better than anybody.
This is why they can do it twice a year and it's packed. They could do it fucking once a week. You still wouldn't get through all the bands. Like. So yeah, we were stoked. We've got hotel rooms booked. We're coming down to Limerick to get pissed and play. We're hopefully going to be on like mid-afternoon, so we can all get shit-faced after and watch Conjurer. I'm a big Conjurer fan as well. Like I love Conjurer. Conjurer are one of the best bands from the UK at the moment. They're absolutely insane.
Yeah, so good. And
but the amount of contacts as well that you meet down there with other bands. It's definitely like what would you call it, Comic-Con as well, to a degree, insofar as you're going to meet so many like-minded people.
Like you can go and you can fucking hustle. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like you really
definitely
can
hustle.
Oh yeah. Well, that's so. Prior to playing the show, when I'm sober, I'm going to be spending a lot of time.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and then after that, it's just going to be me telling everybody I love them.
I love you.
A lot of cuddling, a lot of falling asleep.
Last week, I said we were having beers last week. I practically, believe it or not, carried Gavin out of the bar essentially.
Yeah.
Are you coming down for 2 nights or 1 night?
We're just coming down for the one. Yeah. We're only coming down for the Sunday because we've got some more bits and pieces going on because it's Good Friday and then the Saturday as well. So me and my partner have some bits and pieces going on. The rest of the guys have some stuff going on the Saturday, which is a shame because Grave Miasma are insane. Like they're a very, very good band, and The Spirit as well, coming over from Germany. They're very, very good. So there's a lot of talent, like a lot of talent. Baylor, obviously. Yes. Aaron playing. Like there's so much stuff. There's so many people. Yeah. It's going to be an awesome experience, and we're staying down, so we're hopefully going to see a lot of people down there.
Yeah. Now I'm going to play a track off VII. I'll actually give you the choice.
With Wrath?
Yeah, the new one, yeah.
With Raf.
Okay, cool. Which Roth it is. That's class. I mean, some songs when you listen to them, you just imagine them live, and I'm, delighted to have witnessed that live. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah, we're really, really pleased with how all the songs turned out, how the sound turned out, and with Raf is kind of like it's
current lineup song. That's everyone had it. Writing that one.
We all wrote together. We all worked on that song. Mm-hmm. It's the only song on the album that the current lineup worked on completely together. Yep. So it's a very good sort of petri dish sample of our sound moving forward. Heavier, darker, dirtier, but the choruses, the cleans, the soft bits are still staying there, not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And that'll be the video as well, that song.
That's what the video is for with Raf.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Evan, what you think for yourself in relation to Survivalist? Where can you see him going this year? Look into your crystal ball.
Straight to the top, baby. No, I want to see ye. I'd like to see you kind of make your way over to the UK as well, because there's a massive, I presume that this isn't the first time you've thought about like, oh, that's actually a good idea. Yeah,
it's booked already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's booked already. We booked it this morning.
Really?
Yeah. I can't give away any details or anything yet.
Of course. Yeah.
Later on in the year,
and the work.
There's a lot of gigs in the work. We have a lot of stuff coming up. So we've got some local shows in the summer. Hopefully later on in the year, we've got some stuff for yourself. We're talking to a couple of other guys from across the border as well who are looking to do some Dublin stuff.
Yeah.
We've got some, and obviously we booked this morning, and just a couple of dates across the border. So we're going to go and do that later on in the year as well. Again, don't want to announce any dates or places yet. They're all booked. Everything's set in stone, but we don't want to announce anything, obviously, until there's nice shiny posters to come along with it. Yeah. Like the Dead Cult ones.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Dead Cult. You see all the Dead Cult artwork, the promo posters, everything awesome. So crisp and clean, and very nice work, guys.
I just got a
that's my boy Evan.
I just got a message about another one there while we're listening to your tune. I'm like, but yeah, I'll definitely have you on. I'll have you on.
100%. Yeah, we'll play with it. Like we said, anything you want us to play, we'll play to it.
So he's got the UK thing right. Come on, Dave. Come on, give us the year for Survivalist there. What do you think? What do you think they should be striving for this year?
For this year,
yeah.
I think I guess just gigging as much as possible and being ready. Like at some stage, like fucking hell, I'm not in a band. Like, but you know, it'd be. It doesn't. I don't think like another album. I can't imagine that would be for a release this year. But I think what I'd like to see is be able to build yourself such a base.
Yes.
That the next album is going to completely elevate even more. Yeah. You know, like this is now where hit the ground running, especially with the earache thing, is you have an opportunity to, you know, this is where like even on an EPK, people will see that, take advantage of it. People will instantly put you over a lot of other emails or a lot of other gigs. So just take advantage of it, because there's a lot you can find out about yourselves and as a band from gigging and playing as much as possible. You know, I'd like to see what influences you'll bring in just from playing with other bands, from doing it overseas, and because I would just be very excited to see how that will kind of blend together to be the next release. You know,
so solidify the base, expand it, and maybe an excursion or two, maybe land a festival or two, if not this year, next year as well.
I was going to say festivals, but I'd say unless a lot of people are already booked for festivals, you're kind of
so that's the problem. Festivals across the world at the moment are all very much booked now. We are on the waiting list for a few, but we're on the waiting list for people to drop out. So if that becomes available, then it's something that we will approach. Any festivals that approach us, we will likely play, providing it's not like a festival in some dude's back garden for his kids. They're
the best ones, man.
Well, you know what? A gig's a gig. As long as there's a barbecue, if there's a barbecue and if they're paying, like I said, if they're paying,
exposure, like cake.
So we've got.
So that's the bank holiday Monday in Richie's tent. Fuck them.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks, lads.
So we've got a lot coming up. We've got a lot of shows that are going to be announced. We've got some further away excursions, so to speak, that will get announced very soon.
Single or two this year.
There's going to be probably, I'd say, a good few singles, maybe over the next, before the end of the year anyway. I wanted to aim for 4. Whether we'll get the 4 done is another. But every release that you guys are going to see from us now isn't just going to be a single release. It is going to be a release with a video, a high quality content video. It is going to be even more towards the current age of media that any of our previous releases have been. So we've obviously got Wayne working on the video for Wave Wrath at the moment. He's super excited for it. Like, and Wayne's incredibly talented. Like, I have no doubts that it's going to look amazing. So we're pretty much just every release that we have coming up that we're going to be working with Wayne, doing videos for them. We're going to be making sure they're promoted through earaches pages, making sure that they're promoted correctly.
Are you going to still maintain the relationship with Josh?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Imagine if I just
we
never spoke
recorded
to him
with
again, like.
him, and I went up myself, re-recorded everything. So I've made connections with him. Same with Ben.
Right.
That's my favorite thing. I think that there's no bad blood between any members or any previous members. Everyone's getting, everyone's supporting each other.
Now, that's not to say that we're going to be exclusively recording with Josh, but we will certainly use Josh again in the future. It might be, see, Ben, our drummer, is a producer as well, which not a lot of people know, because Ben works with very select people. He has recorded a couple of albums recently for some local talent and stuff. Like, so Ben is very, very good as well. So we are going to maybe mess around with some stuff ourselves.
Yeah, try and work on that.
See how if we can get the same sound, if we can replicate it. And we'll maybe get Josh on board and stuff to work alongside Ben. But we are not by any means disconnecting Josh from the band. He's done so much for the band. Yeah. He has helped us out in so many ways. He's a very, very talented producer. He is very, very good at what he does, and he has helped us sound and get to where we are. So
and even as a fan for years, being new to the recording process and everything, I will say over the years hearing local bands, I know when Josh has been the producer for a band, I know that band has got the quality. Not to say there's other people that don't have quality in the country, but I mean he's top tier. You know what I mean?
Josh he's in terms of metal producers in the country, like him and Aiden's unreal as well. Aiden would be somebody else that we have looked at working with too, because for dirtier songs, because I think Aiden really brought out like a lot of really, really, really good sounds and that hardcore sound and everything. I think he does a really good job of it.
I think is
the aggression's there. And the next track that we are going to be recording is actually very, very aggressive. It's going to hit harder than anything we've released so far. It's in a much, much lower tuning, just a giant breakdown. So like it's going to be good, like very different. And we want to, big thing we want to do as well is we want to show people how diverse we can write. So we're thinking like releasing that one and then maybe something the opposite end of the spectrum after that, like and then full cleans. Like we haven't really made any like plans, but
pure metalcore, more technical.
Yeah, we just want to explore the genre and explore the different influences and sounds that are in the band, because you've got like Tom is from a thrash metal background. Stu and Tom's musical interest kind of bled into each other. Like Stu and Tom are very much thrash metal that kind of moved on to like While She Sleeps, Architects, bands like that, Bring the Horizon. Then you've got Nick, who you would be
straight metalcore.
Yeah, straight up metalcore. Like
I grew up on like Avenged Sevenfold, of course, but again nowadays Wage War, Architects, getting into the heavier stuff. And you'll see that definitely. I'm trying to have a big part in it right now.
Yeah.
Not at all saying it's bad anyway, but just to give it a fresh new sound and really show we can do all this now. And Ben as well. Ben plays and listens to everything. So that man, you give that man a drum beat and he can play it. Yeah. He can play it with his eyes closed. He was a drum teacher. The shows. He looks like he looks bored.
No effort. And he's like literally playing stuff like, but he looks like he's just, there's nothing going into it at all, but he makes it look easy, and what he's playing is deadly.
Yeah.
And like he is flawless. He is so tight. Obviously the drummers are the anchors. Like we need you guys to be good. Or like if a drummer makes a mistake, like Ben always says, everybody hears it. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on you guys. So, and with their influences, and then you've got me, who I listened to metal from whenever I was about 11, went through the typical Thin Lizzy, Metallica, all that stuff. But then I now listen to everything from black metal to like death metal, everything. Bands like bands like Dark Throne and Mortal. I've got a couple of tracks that I enjoy from those guys. I've got bands like The Shooter, proper black metal, ambient stuff that I really like, and then a lot of death metal, a lot of metalcore, everything, deathcore. I like a lot of influences. My favorite band would be like Pantera. So
absolutely, man. Yeah,
Pantera would bring a lot of the influences of the band. Like I've got like a really strange 3 favorite bands at the moment. So like
that's what I was saying earlier. It's like I feel like we're leaning. Metalcore as a general has so many different styles. We're kind of leaning towards that heavier, like a Slipknot core kind of style.
Yeah.
Like keeping it like it's definitely like metal, but it's going to have.
But there's going to be diverse stuff in there.
That technical side of things, you know,
soft bits and pieces, and like we do want to do like one full clean song that maybe goes into streams towards the end of the song. Like that's the next sort of plan after this one. So. There's a lot of different sounds that are going to be coming, and obviously we're having Nick and stuff writing on the record now. It's going to bring a lot more diversity as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, In Which I Envy gives a good idea of that side of it. I suppose the melody and right through the album as well, there are some really cool cleans as well. So be just interesting to see which way you'll develop.
Something we definitely don't want to lose as a band is those cleans, those choruses, those hooks. Because we know
it ties everything together.
It does,
I think.
Yeah. And you have a good idea of how to do it successfully as well. I will give you that. You have a good idea.
Yeah. It was the first single we wanted to release. We wanted to release something that was going to get people hooked. That was going to have a catch, something for people to grab onto and hum along when they're walking around the house, sing when they're out and about. And that's what Envy's chorus was about. It was about getting that melody stuck inside people's heads. And it worked because our first ever show, and I knew from the response from people that we got over social media, and the people that I seen there were the same people saying, we love this song, we listen to it all the time. I knew when we were going in that first gig that I was able to shout, everybody knows the words of this song. And they did. The whole crowd sang Envy back at us, and it was insane. Our very first gig, and we have a crowd of people singing the song. And it was one of them was him. And now he sings it on stage.
What about merchandising? I saw that you had a few T-shirts there for sale at the launch. Is there any of them left? Is there?
Oh yeah, we've got those. So the plan was, because they were an album launch exclusive, we didn't want to put that out there and then just the day after fire them up onto our website, because it's not fair for the people who bought them under the pretenses that they were album launch exclusives. So we have a big box left. We get all of our merchandise from Pins and Knuckles. They're the same guys that print stuff for like Architects, Welsh Sleeves. They're an incredible merch company. The plan is now, so we're basically going to sell these at the next show, and then coming up towards Siege, we're going to put the remainders of them online. There's some new merch lines coming. When the next single comes out, we've already got a merch line planned for it as well. So we'll have a new merch line then. We've got a couple of other merch ideas in the works. And then tomorrow is beanies are landing. Yeah, so we've got beanies made like the one I'm wearing now, but that's not a Survivalist one. It's just a Carhartt one. But they're very similar to these, just the writing across the front. Looks really, really good, really clean. Yeah. We're really, really pleased with them. So they'll be like tomorrow.
Yeah, Pins and Knuckles, the quality is
they're unreal. Like couldn't recommend.
They're absolutely excellent.
Pins and Knuckles did the hoodies actually for me.
Yeah. Did they? Yeah.
Metal Cell hoodies are great. Yeah.
We work with a fella called Bernie. He's been the guy.
That's the guy. Yeah, that's Bernie. Yeah.
Johan is the dude that I've been. Jonah, maybe. Fuck.
Jonah. I think there is a fella called Jonah that works there.
Jonah, yeah. That's the guy that I've been.
I suppose, kind of with merchandising ideas, since Haint have the whole wooden spoon market cornered off.
I actually love it. I saw it. I was messaging the other night.
He's going fucking looking for it. Jesus, here.
They replied to one of our stories the other night, just saying, "Can't wait, lads," and. I was like, I was like, might bring myself one of those wooden spoons on stage to keep people back. You know, they're class. Like, there's a couple of things that I've seen from the company. They get those done that I do want done for the band. Not wooden spoons, but I've seen some stuff there that they do, and we have a couple of ideas for those as well. So there's a lot of merch ideas kind of in the works at the moment. We're still working with the original artist as well, who did our very first bit of artwork, Grant. Grant has since doing that became a tattooist. He tattoos now.
Did you?
He tattoos me. Yeah, I get a lot of bits and pieces done by him. Really good dude. I've been friends with him since we were about 15 or 16. I've known him for so long. The guy is a hero, and he has done outstanding work for us. And anybody that would need any commissioned artwork or anything like that, if you're looking for a commissioned piece of art for your band, he does photos. You know, like we've got prints. So he did like a couple of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch prints and stuff like that for my partner. He's just incredible. Like he is one of the best artists I know, and he will be working with us indefinitely for as long as I can keep him. And for me, because I'm melting his head and asking him to do stuff at 3 a.m.
Yeah, as I said, man, you've got a good team around you, and that's always important. People that you can trust and that won't leave you fucking down. You know.
That's it. We've got our team now. So we've got our artist, we've got our videographer, we've got our photographers, we've got that team that kind of build up the image of how we look. Yeah, we are keeping the same guys. Like we don't want anything to change there in our sound or anything. So we want to keep it as professional as it has been, but if not better, more progressive, more just an expansion of what we've already put out, really.
Yeah, and of course, we're here as well, Fee.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
As much as we can do, Fee, we will guarantee that.
You guys are awesome. Both of you have been awesome. Like Evan, really, like I will message Evan about random stuff, and he responds so quickly. Like, and I would say that's a man who spends the same amount of time on his phone as I do.
Unfortunately,
it's probably melting my missus's head at the moment. But she, like, I'm very, very fortunate to have probably one of the most supportive partners, like, going. Lucy backs me every single step of the way. You guys have been to the gigs, any gig that we've played. If you've seen the crazy blonde girls windmilling up at the front of the stage, that is my partner. Like, and she's awesome. She loves metal and she loves what we're doing. And like, I couldn't have had a better partner, really.
That's important, man.
Yeah, very much.
Okay, lads. So, anything else you want to say before you head off into the night?
Really want to just give a big thank you to some people in particular. So obviously I want to thank Daryl and Taylor for their work on VII and laying that foundation for Ben and Nick to come in and create the band that we are now. We wouldn't have been where we are without those two guys, and it's just awesome the fact that they kind of laid the groundwork in for us to be the band now that is Survivalist, like, and
continually being.
Yeah, it wasn't like, it was just, this is it. It's the solidified lineup, and everybody is on the same page and has the same goals. So it's awesome. Big thank you to James from the Distortion Project, just for all of his support, his help with the gigs, everything that he's done for us. Big thank you to Earache Records for inviting us to the digital platform and helping us with our promotion and marketing. And big thank you to Wayne. Wayne has been incredible from the very start, and couldn't thank the dude enough.
Not only videos, but being at the shows as well.
Being at the front lines, just doing everything.
He's there either taking photos or in the pit.
Even down to the visualizer video that we have on YouTube currently, Wayne put that together. It was something he'd never really done before. So it's another thing that Wayne can add to his package for other bands, and he deserves all the work he gets, to be honest, because he's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you to Grant for the artwork. He is a gem. And Grant Thorne Tattoos, if you are looking for any artwork, make sure you hit that guy up. And Josh for the recording, because the JSR audio and everything he did for the record is unreal. Not only that, but he also played some of the stuff on the record before it got re-recorded. So he's not only a top-class producer, but he's a top-class musician and person as well. Yeah. And then
absolutely.
Yeah, and then we've just got
your fans.
Got the fans. was getting to that. there was another one on the tip of my tongue though. Yeah, well, the fans and you guys, everybody who listens, everybody who streams, everything, everybody who shares our posts, our stories, who tags us in anything, everybody goes noticed. Yeah. We reply to all of our messages. We react to everything. We make sure that any work or any recognition that we get from anybody doesn't go unrecognized, because at the end of the day, if it's not for the fans and people like you guys, people like promotion companies, streamers, podcasts, video reactors, they're the guys that are going to put us on the map. And we couldn't be more thankful. We've got the best fans and the best support out there. So that's it from me anyway. What about yourself? Did I miss anybody?
I don't think there's anything else to add. I will say that people who actually show up to the shows, you know, for me being my first show ever, and then going forward, obviously, but like, you know, I couldn't ask for better crowds, for better, you know, I've been to gigs where there's 10 people show up, you know, and I'm sitting there going, this is great. And now, you know, our own shows, there's big crowds, you know, people really seem to enjoy it. It's going really well. And I couldn't ask for anything more than that. You know what I mean? As I said, this is the start. This is where things will start going now. With COVID fucking off, you know.
COVID doesn't exist anymore, sure. No. Everyone's just kind of forgot about it.
But no, it's literally just keep it going. And you can just expect more, you know.
Yeah. Survivalists are hungry, man.
And, absolutely. Hungry and thirsty and underfed, so we need more. The song, The Gluttony of a God.
So check out VII. It's still out there. It's on Bandcamp. All their videos are up on YouTube under Survivalist. Facebook, Instagram. They're excellent, as I said, for replying. And listen, lads, we've got your back here and cannot wait for what is coming down the line, and especially your appearance at the Siege.
Thank you so much. And if anybody out there who's watching this ever wants to reach out to us to ask a question, to drop a comment, to have a chat with any of the guys in the band, you're more than welcome to do so. Like I said, we will reply. We will get around to you. If you have any questions, advice, anything that you would like to see from us, if there's particular stuff, ideas that you have, feel free to put them in our inboxes. Every message will get read.
Nice one.
100%.
Ideal, lads.
There's some salesman, Evan.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Love it.
I'll shine your shoes. I'll do whatever you want, man.
Anyway, thanks a million, lads. Evan, as always, fair play to you. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, guys, and look after yourself. Peace.
And crucially, support your local metal scene, because that's what it's all about.
Yes, boys.
Thank you.